Shalom, 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 shalom to the 12 tribe that scattered abroad. Shalom, shalom, shalom to the 12 tribe that scattered abroad. Welcome back to reading the Bible with your brother Nehemiah. I am Israel. I am Israel, a true seeker of Yahweh. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. What are my glasses? Oh. Before we get started, man, let's give praise. Let's give praise. Let's give praise where it do it. We're going to give all praise. What's up, baby? We're going to give all praise and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father, for allowing us to be here today. Yeah, y'all know what it was. I worked last night. Came home. Got things together. Got my grandson. Look at him. Yeah, how y'all doing? How the 12 tribe doing today, man? Man, how y'all doing today? Well, today, boy, we in Genesis chapter 49. We got 2 chapters left, 49 and 50. We're going to recap from Genesis chapter 48. It ain't too much recapping of it. What we're going to do is freshen up our mind. I'll remember But in 48, you know, that's when they went to the Goshen, and you know, they the Egyptian sold all their land and stuff to that's 47 to Pharaoh when Joseph bought it all. And he moved his folks in Goshen, and they told Pharaoh that they are shepherds. So they gave him the best of the land. And, you know, Israel was getting old. He was, Israel, who I'm talking about, is Jacob, the father. He was old in his years. I think he was 130 years old. Something like that, 130 years old. And he stayed 17 years in Egypt. He stayed 17 years. Besides when he came, he stayed 17 years in Egypt. So he was, the word came back to Joseph, his son, that his father was sick. So Joseph will come and go see his father. And Israel heard that Joseph was on his way, so he stood up in the bed, set himself up right. So he ended up blessing all three, or he ended up blessing Joseph and his 2 sons. But he blessed the younger one and said that he was going to be greater than the older one, because he had put his right hand on the younger one head and his left hand on the older one head, and that really ticked Joseph out, and he ain't liked that. So he was trying to switch it over, and Jacob said he know. Remember, he blind, he barely can see, but he know where the blessing supposed to be going, because everything already been done through God, and God talked to them. Even God even told them that he was going to bring them back up out of this land. And they were going to multiply. They were going to be fruitful. They were going to multiply and become a multitude of a nation, a multitude of people. And when he blessed them, then he blessed them that day, saying, "In thee shall Israel bless. Shall Israel bless, saying, God make thee as Ephraim and as Manasseh." And he set Ephraim before Manasseh. And Israel said unto Joseph, "Behold, I die, but God shall be with you and bring you again unto the land of your father." And that's the land of Canaan. Now, everybody get their King James Version with the Apocrypha out and open up your books to Genesis chapter 49. We is at the end of the book of Genesis. And from reading that, I hope y'all got a better understanding, because I know the church don't give it to you, but I hope y'all got a better understanding. If not, just go back over them. They on the YouTube page. Go back and look at my the lesson, the reading. Go back over whatever chapter you don't understand. Go back over it and get a clearance to it and find out what's going on. How we became, how the word began, and where we come from, and who we came out of. You know, all of us come from Adam. All of them. But it's a lineage you're going down to accept the Israelite. See, my shirt, what I got on, I am Israel. And up under it say, the seed of Jacob, the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I am Israel. So we're going to begin in Genesis chapter 49. So when everybody ready, come, and we're going to begin. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 1. And Jacob called unto his son and said, gather yourself together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Now, no, Jacob's on his deathbed. He about to die. So he told his son, he gathered all his sons. He called unto his son, and he told them, y'all gather yourself together and come to me. Because that he gonna tell them which shall befall them in the last day. Last days meaning the days what we live in now. So Jacob fit to tell his each one of his sons what gonna happen to them in the last days. That's what Jacob fit to do. Verse 2. Gather yourself together and hear ye, sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. So they gather themselves together and hearken unto Israel, their father. Verse 3. Reuben, thou art my firstborn. Remember, Reuben is the firstborn. My might and the beginning of my strength. So Reuben is his might and the beginning of his strength. The excellence and dignity of the excellence of power. Verse 4. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel. He said he's unstable as water. Thou shalt not excel. Let's get the definition of excel.
Excel.
Be acceptable. Man. Be exceptional. Be exceptionally good at a proficient in an activity or subject. That's what it says. Be very good, where it got shine, stand out, be the best. So, but he will not excel. So he will not stand out. He will not be the best. Why he will not excel? We're going to do it again from the top. Verse 4, again from the top. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, then defiled it thou it. He went up to my couch. Now, he defiled the bed precept. Genesis chapter 35, verse 22. And it came to pass when Israel dwelt in the land that Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his father concubine. And Israel heard it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12. Now, when he slept with his father concubine, that's something we're not supposed to do. That's a curse. That's a sin. I'm going to give you another precept. That's why he said he would not excel. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, verse 20. Cursed be he that lied with his father's wife. He lied with his father's wife. Reuben did, the firstborn. And he supposed to have been the heir. You know, the firstborn supposed to receive the heir of his father. But he's not. He will not excel. It say, because he uncovered his father's skirt, and all the people shall say amen. Another precept. This is the book. I'm giving y'all a precept to go right along with 49 and 4. First Chronicle 5 and 1. Now the sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, for he was the firstborn, but for as much as he defiled his father's bed, his birthright was given unto the sons of Joseph, the son of Israel. And the genealogy is not to be reckoned after the birthright. See, he lost his birthright, all that. It was given to the sons of Joseph. That's how Joseph became when Jacob told him, them two he got, Manasseh and Ephraim, they are mine. That's what he means. He accepted them as his, and the birthright ain't go to the firstborn. It went to Joseph and his two sons. Really, Joseph and Ephraim. They got the same blessing. Joseph and Ephraim have the same blessing. Ephraim got the same blessing Joseph got. It's like they still have been two. It's like all in one. But Ephraim is the leader of the northern tribe. Let's continue. He says, unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, then defiledest thou it. He went up to my couch. Verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habit. So he said, Simeon and Levi, the brethren, them the next two. He said they are instruments of cruelty, meaning violence. They violent. Levi is the Haitians, and Simeon is the I can't remember what Simeon is. But what he mean by they instrument of cruelty, they violence, and are in their habitation. Like that's in their habitation, being violent. Why was they violent? Y'all remember? Let's verse 6. O my soul, come not thou into their secret, meaning counsel. O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly. My honor, be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall. Now, in their anger, what man did they slew? This is the book of Genesis, chapter 34, verse 26. And they slew Hamor, and Shechem, his son, with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house and went out. Remember when Shechem, Hamor, wait, which one it was? Yeah, Shechem. When Shechem had defiled their sister, he slept with her, laid with her, was that not ought to be done? Simon and Levi was the two that brought the thing, said they cannot, only way they can trade, get their women to their daughters to their sons, and they take their daughters for their son, is they circumcise themselves. And they agreed with it. And Simeon and Levi let them circumcise themselves, and they went in and killed everything that was in the city. That's why they are instrument of cruelty are in their habitation, because they violent. And you notice that, like, I got to see, hold on. Salak family. Yes, okay. Salak. Now, you know, like the Haitians and the Simeon is the Dominicans. The Dominicans. You know, they like they have violence into them. They real violent, but you know, they already fight each other. Like where they at over there, it's like a fence, a gate or something separating them. But they really at each other, and they are brothers. I'm talking about this how they got us. Now this the last days. We're gonna befall of us. Reuben, he will not excel. Simeon and Levi, they are instrument of cruelty, violence. And when you look at the Haitian and the Dominicans, and when you see them, you see how violent they is. You can see how violent they are. Haitians are, well, especially the Haitians, but you can see how violent they are. And he say, for in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they digged down a wall. Verse 7. Cursed be their anger. This Jacob telling their father. He said, cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. He said, I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. Levi them is scattered all over Israel. They that's the priesthood. They scatter. They go to they stay in, you know, they only ones ain't get a portion of land because they portion is God. They are God portion. And they get a piece in everybody land. They have to get a best part of in everybody land. The Levi. He, like he said, he gonna divide them. This what I mean. This what he mean when he's saying that they're gonna divide them. This is the book of Joshua, chapter 19, verse 1. And the second lot came forth to Simeon, even for the tribe of the children of Simeon, according to their families, and their inheritance was within the inheritance of the children of Judah. What he said, I'm going to divide them into, what he said, he said, cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. So he divided them in Jacob, just like what it just said in Joshua chapter 19 and 1. It said that, and the second lot came forth to Simeon, even for the tribe of the children of Simeon, according to their family. And their inheritance was within the inheritance of the children of Judah. They inherit was in the inheritance of the children of Judah, called cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob. Jacob is the whole 12 tribes, and he divided them amongst them. Why he do that? Wow. I ain't even had to touch that then. What we was, cursed be the anger, and I will divide. This what I was reading. Listen, Joshua. Shalak it, family. Oh, that's tough, man. Oh, yeah. This is the book of Joshua, chapter 21, verse 1. Then came near the heads of the father of the Levites unto Elzar, the priest, and unto Joshua, the son of Nun, and unto the heads of the father of the tribes of the children of Israel. So with Simeon and Levi, he cursed their anger and their wrath, because it was very cruel. And he divided them in Jacob and scattered them in Israel. Verse 8, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. He said, thou art he whom thy brothers shall praise, Judah. What else? Let's continue. Verse 8 again from the top. It said, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Now, Judah is the tribe that Yahweh Shai, who the world called ignorant, called Jesus. That's the tribe he came from, a so-called black African American. And it said that Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. The book of Psalms, chapter 18, verse 40. Thou hast also given me the necks of my enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me. And you know, we hated, Judah hated, a so-called African American, we hated all over the world, cuz. We are the one that had bad, Judah was the one that came up with the deal about selling Joseph. He was the one that came up with that. But he said, and the father's children shall bow down before thee. Verse 9. Judah is a lion's whelp. Okay. Verse 9. It says, Judah is a lion's whelp. I got to get the definition of this.
Whelp.
A puppy of a female dog giving birth to a puppy. A cub, a boy or young man, often as a disparaging from form of address. So it's talking like a cub. It say Judah is a lion's whelp, meaning cub. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion. Couched as a lion. And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Who shall rouse him up? And rousing meaning bring out of sleep, awake. Meaning who gonna wake him up? The 12 tribes, the tribe are waiting on Judah. Basically what it's saying. He's a lion's whelp. The brothers them like cubs to him. He's a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped. I like Numbers chapter 24, verse 9. He said, he lay down as a lion, and as a great lion. Who shall stir him up? Blessed is he that blesseth thee, and cursed is he that curseth thee. He told that to Abraham too. So who gonna stir Judah up? Who gonna stir these so-called African Americans up to stand up on their 2 feet so we can get back where we supposed to be at? We got to start standing up. Judah is the head tribe. He say lions, well, he's the head tribe. He's the head tribe. Verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Now, it say, the scepter should not depart from Judah. Take this precept out here. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 24, verse 17. And it reads, I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not now. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of sheep. So that nor a lawgiver, it said, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Let me see what this. This song is fixed there. So like a family battle with me. Hey. Judah is the lawgiver. That's why it say no lawgiver shall depart, where it say, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come. Shiloh, who is Shiloh? Okay. Shiloh is a Hebrew name meaning peaceful, tranquility, or tranquility town, derived from words meaning to be at ease, often associated with a place of rest. In the Bible, it's a significant city where the tabernacle rests and is interpreted as a prophet title for the Messiah. You say he whose it is, the peaceful one. significant peace and rightful rule, and also mean gift from God or mystery. It's a popular gender natural name in modern times. So Shiloh is Yahweh Shai, so-called Jesus Christ. And he's a lawgiver. That's when the peaceful one. It's a significant peace and rightful ruler. So we're not a it say the scepter should not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come. When Yahweh Shai come, that's gonna be the peaceful one. That's where we'll be in peace and rightful rule. And also we'll be in rightful rule. And also a gift from God or mission, which he is. He was a gift from God to Israel. He came to say what? His people. That's what he came to do. And the lawgiver will not depart from him. It will not depart from us. The lawgiver. Let's continue. And all the people gonna gather. That's why I keep saying, when they say all the people and shall the gathering of the people be, that's what he was saying about when he's a lion's whelp. All his brothers gonna bow down to him, gonna look up to him. Judah is the tribe to get it started. Jesus come out of the tribe of Judah. Jesus a lawgiver. Jesus a rightful ruler. Things will be ruled right in the kingdom, right when Shiloh comes. The laws will be given right, and everybody have to follow by the law. If you don't want to follow the law, off with your head. That goes for any other nation. I'm not saying that we're not saying that people other nation not gonna be saved. But you got to look at the other nation wasn't given what we was given. Salvation. Salvation is it's like everlasting life. Salvation. Everybody don't have salvation. Only Israel has salvation. Only Israel was given the promise. Only Israel was given the laws. That's why we supposed to teach the other nation. That's why they call us the light. We was the light. That's why they say Jesus is the light. Because he taught us. And that's what we supposed to do to the other nation. Teach them the law. Judah is the lawgiver. We supposed to teach the law. All 12 of the tribes teach the law. But Judah is the head. They waiting on Judah to make the move. When Judah make the move, all the rest of the tribes, watch how they fall in order. Watch how they get. This is God doing, man. But we are the lawgiver. And ain't nothing gonna depart until Shiloh comes. Let's continue. And unto him shall the obedience of the people be. Everybody gonna fall in obedience because Shiloh gonna give them the law. He gonna teach them the law. Everybody gonna have to be in obedience, even the other nations. It ain't gonna be no more everybody serving their own God. If you got another God you want to serve, off with the head. Because there's only one God we're gonna serve in our kingdom. And that's the creator of heaven and earth. The creator of everything. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the only God that we're going to be representing in the kingdom. The only God. Let's continue. Verse 11. Bending his foe, meaning donkey, bending his foe unto the vine, and his ass's coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garment in wine, and his clothes is the blood of grapes. What do you mean by that? He washed his garment in wine. Shiloh gonna come through here and kill everything. And I'm gonna say that the blood gonna be as high as the horse's bridle. That man gonna go in snow white. When he come back out, he gonna be just like the clothes in the blood of grapes. Like he been in a wine press pressing grapes. But he gonna be chopping heads off, and that gonna be blood. Verse 12. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. And what it said back there in Revelation chapter chapter 1 and 14. It says eyes was red, head was woolly, eyes red. Yeah. It said his eyes shall be red, darker than wine. It should be red with wine, and his teeth white with snow, whiter than milk, with milk. So it's gonna be whiter than milk. His eyes gonna be darker than wine. You know how that great wine is, how dark it is. His eye gonna be darker than wine, and his teeth whiter than milk. Now that's from the tribe of Judah. Remember, these the last days. This is supposed to happen in the last days. So Shiloh coming in the last days to save his people and to give the law. Verse 13. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and shall be for an haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. Now Zebulun Okay, Zebulun referred to a son of the biblical figure Jacob, and the Israelite tribe descended from him. As Jacob's 10th son and Leah's 6th, the name is thought to mean dwelling or habitation, reflecting his mother's hope that her husband would dwell with her more often. The tribe was granted territory in Lower Galilee during the conquest of Canaan, which bordered both the Sea of Galilee and the Mediterranean Sea. Now Zebulun shall dwell at the heavens of the sea, what it just said. And he shall be for an haven of ships. Let's get the definition of that.
Haven.
A place of safety or refuge. So he should be it's a safe place or refuge. So it say he dwell at the haven of the sea. So that's a safe place for, and he shall be for an haven of ship, and his border shall be unto Zidon. Sidon, Zidion. And Zidion is no, that ain't what I'm doing. There you go. Zidon or Sidon, referred to an ancient wealth Phoenician port city on the Mediterranean coast, modern day Sidon, the band, and also to its legendary founder, Canaan's son. See, in the Bible, Zidion was a major trading center known for its arches, commercial power, and religious practice, often associated with Baal worship, and mentioned alongside Tyre as a significant culture and economy force, sometimes used to refer to all Phoenicians. It's an ancient city in Phoenicia on the coast of north of Tyre in the modern Lebanon. So he gonna dwell by the sea, Zebulun. And that's where they at now. You know, that port with Trump, I think he trying to close it, take it over or something. He trying to do something with the port. I forgot the name of the port. But this where they dwell at. This where Zebulun dwell at. They do all they trading, merchandise, they selling. That's what they do. And this where they at. Verse 14. Issachar is a strong ass couching down between two burdens. So he called Issachar a strong ass. Couching, meaning lying down between two burdens. Now, Issachar is the so-called Mexican. And you know that little sign they have, that man sitting down on the side with the, I think that with the hat on, and I think it's gonna be a donkey sitting beside him. That's the same thing with what we just said. He couched down like down between two burdens. Verse 15. And he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant unto tribute. What? What you want? What, did what you want? He said, and he saw the rest was good. My picture, the sign for Mexico, for the Mexican sign, the man sitting down with the hat on his head, tilt down like he rests. Rest for good was good. This Issachar, the so-called Mexicans, he said he saw rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant. The land that they in was pleasant. Mexico, it was pleasant. And bow his shoulder to bear a burden, and became a servant unto tribute. He became a servant. Why I keep doing that? An act, statement, or gift that is intended to show gratitude, respect, or admiration. So he gonna become a servant unto tribute. Ah, that ain't funny. That ain't funny at all. Talking about him the funny bone. Verse 16. Dan. Now Dan, remember it's two of them that's not, it's 12 tribes. If Jacob adopted, well not adopted, if Jacob made Manasseh and Ephraim his sons, Dan, it's a 12 tribe, it's a 12 tribe chart. So it's two of the original brothers that's not. I already told you that Joseph and Ephraim, they have the same blessing. So that's one. But Ephraim is on the 12 tribe chart. Joseph not. Joseph is Ephraim. Ephraim is Joseph. They have the same blessing. Just the same way Manasseh is on there. And who ain't on there? Dan is not on there. So the 12 tribe had became 14 when he owned it Manasseh and Ephraim at the son. It was 14. But things went down, especially for Dan not to be on the list. But we already know why Joseph there, because he Ephraim. They have the same blessing. Let's continue. It say Dan, verse 16, Dan should judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. See? He should judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. He is a tribe. And he is from Israel. Verse 17. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, and adder in the path. That biteth the horse's heels, so that his rider shall fall backwards. I got something for that. Hey. It say, Dan shall be a serpent by the way, and adder in the path, that biteth the horse heel, so that his rider shall fall backward. Okay, here go the second one. Not that one. It's not giving. Okay, let's see what the in the Bible, Dan means to judge. That's why he said what he said. He said Dan should judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. And it say in the Bible, Dan means to judge or to rule, referring to Jacob's son and his tribe, known for its northern territory and its famous judge, Samson, but also for significant idolatry. That's what Dan got kicked out for. Dan was the first one to do this idolatry. That gonna be the first tribe that get invaded. When he get them their land, and when they come in to conquer us again, Dan was the first tribe. Dan was the first one that got conquered. Dan did a lot of idolatry. He was into the idolatry, leading to its symbolically associated with wickedness and even disappearance from the final seal in Revelation. See, he disappeared from the final seal in Revelation. But Dan he gonna pop back up though. And he gonna be out there in the kingdom. He gonna be out. He popping back up. But he was the first one that had this idolatry, that started this idolatry. Let's continue. Verse 18. I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. Now, a preservation or deliverance from harm, ruin, or loss. Deliverance from sin and its consequences believed by Christians to be brought about by faith in Christ. That what salvation is. It's delivering from sin and its consequences. So salvation will be, when he promised us salvation, we'll be delivered from our sins and the consequences that battle sin. What we got to expect other sin and the consequences of. He gonna deliver us from that. That's our salvation. Everybody don't have that. Everybody don't have that. It's only Israel the one got salvation. We the only one gonna get delivered from our sin. The other nations not. Let's continue. Verse 18 again from the top. It say, I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. Verse 19. Gad. Gad is the so-called Indians. The so-called Indian. It say Gad. A troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Them the Indian. It said the troop shall overcome him, but in the end, he gonna overcome. This gonna happen in the last day, the day that we live in now. This what Jacob telling them. The days we live in now, this what Jacob was talking to them about. What was gonna happen to us in the last days. To the 12 tribes in the last days. Until who come? Until Shiloh come. Until Shiloh come. So it ain't gonna be no lawgiver departing. The scepter ain't gonna depart until Shiloh. Let's continue. Verse 20. Out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dynasties. Now Asher bread shall be fat, meaning rich. Asher, his bread shall be rich, and he shall yield royalty dynasties. Let's get the definition of that.
Dainty.
Dainty. Something good to eat. That ain't good to eat. That look like some abomin. That look like some unclean meat. Now that look, what that is? Squid? That's unclean. But something good to eat. It's a Asher, out of Asher. Deuteronomy 33 and 24 precept. And of Asher he said, let Asher be blessed with children. Let him be acceptable to his brethren, and let him dip his foot in oil. Joshua 19:24. And the fifth lot came out for the tribe of the children of Asher according to their family. So he gonna be very rich, and he shall yield royal dainties. Verse 21. Naphtali is a hind, meaning deer, let loose. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words. What? Deuteronomy 33 and 23. And of Naphtali, he said, O Naphtali, satisfied with favor and full with the blessing of the Lord, possess thou the west and the south. Verse 22. Joseph is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by a well, whose branches run over the wall. So he called Joseph a fruitful bow. Let's see what that means. Bow. Sure. Bow. A main branch of a tree. Branch, limb, arm. Yeah. A main branch of a tree. So Joseph is a main branch of a tree. And Joseph is a fruitful main branch of a tree, even a fruitful bow by a well, whose branches run over the wall. So he's gonna be fruitful, and he will. Look at the Puerto Ricans. Look at them. Look at the Cubans. These are Joseph's sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. Ephraim are the Puerto Rican, and Manasseh are the Cubans. These are Joseph's sons. That's why he say he's gonna be fruit. He's like a branch. He spread. His what did it say? His branch run over the wall. Fruitful. You got plenty of them Puerto Ricans. Got plenty of them Cubans. They branch off Joseph. Let's continue. Verse 23. The archers had, let me make sure I'm pronouncing this word right. Archers. The archers have sorely The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him. So the archers have sorely, let me see, they're sorely gonna mean bitterly. They bitterly grieved him and shot at him and hated him. Joseph. And who was that? Remember his brothers them did that? That's why they had sold him. Because they hated him. Because he interpreted dreams. And he told them that they were going to bow down, and which they did. All what he said happened. Let's continue. Verse 24. But his bow abode, it means remain, in strength. And the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. So he the stone of Israel, he the shepherd. From this is the shepherd. Wow, hold on. Let me see what that is. Man, no. Why I keep doing that? Okay. That's why I will. Verse 24, yeah, this is why I will. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hand were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. I had pulled it up and the smug had jumped off. I can't even find it. Wow. Hold on. What verse did I find? Hold on. And this is the shepherd. Verse 25. Even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with blessing of heaven above, blessing of the deep that lieth under. blessing of the breast and of the womb. Man, what's wrong with you? Chill out. Verse 26. The blessing of thy father have prevailed, meaning excelled, above the blessing of my progenitors, meaning ancestors, unto the outermost bound of the everlasting hill. They shall be on the head of Joseph and on the crown of the head of him that was separated from his brethren. This Joseph, they talking about the progenitor unto the outermost bound of the everlasting hill. They're going to be on Joseph's head. Verse 27. Benjamin shall rave. That's like a come on, don't do that. It's a ravenish wolf. Benjamin shall rave as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. This the baby brother. This the one, Joseph, younger brother with Rachel, but this the one Jacob ain't want to send down to Egypt, who Joseph kept asking he wanted to see. Verse 28. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is it that their father spake unto them and blessed them, every one according to his blessing, he blessed them. Verse 29, and he charged them and said unto them, I am to be gathered unto my people. Bury me with my father in the cave that is in the field of Ephron, the Hittite. Remember, that's the field Abraham, the cave that Abraham bought from the Hittite. Now he telling his son them, bury him back with his father. Don't bury me in Egypt. Don't leave me in Egypt. Bring me up out of this land and take me to where my father and to where my father at, where he bought Abraham. Bury me there with my father. Verse 30. In the cave that is in the field of Machpelah, which is before Mamre, in the land of Canaan, which Abraham bought with the field of Ephron the Hittite for a possession of a burial place. Verse 31. There they buried Abraham and Sarah, his wife. There they buried Isaac and Rebekah, his wife. And there I buried Leah. See, Leah, he buried Leah there. Not Rachel. Rachel will die on the way. I can't remember. So I don't want to lie to y'all with the name. But remember, she died on the way when they was heading towards, after she gave birth to Benjamin, they were heading to Canaan. Yeah, they were heading back to their father's house. Yeah. They were heading back to the fatherland, back to his country, where he from, Canaan. So Abraham and Sarah were buried there. Isaac and Rebekah were buried there. Jacob, Jacob is Rebekah's son. Jacob gonna be buried there, and there he buried Leah, his first wife, the one that was given to him. Verse 32. The purchase of the field and of the cave that is therein was from the children of Heth. Verse 33. And when Jacob had made an end of commanding his son, he gathered up his feet into the bed and yielded up the ghost and was gathered unto his people. So when he got through giving all the commandments and the what, and what gonna befall them in the last day, he got himself together and he yielded and gave up the ghost. He died at a good old age, I think 147, something like that. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 1. The last book of Genesis. This is the last chapter in Genesis. The last chapter. All praise to the Most High Yah that we made it from Genesis chapter 1 all the way to the last chapter. Don't give up and keep scribing, because we got Exodus, we got Leviticus, we got Numbers, we got Deuteronomy, we got all these. These are the 5 books, the Torah, where most of all the laws was given. That's where we in. The 5 books, and we'll be going to Exodus. We'll be going to Exodus soon. Man, y'all tore this phone up because you can't even get this phone in. Oh man, I can't do nothing with that phone. Y'all tore that phone up. You can't get that phone. You can't touch that on the face. You throwed it so. Give me my marker. Putting stuff in your mouth. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 1. And Joseph fell upon his father's face and wept upon him and kissed him. This after Jacob passed. He been around Joseph at least 17 years, because he stayed 17 more years after he came in Egypt. Verse 2. And Joseph commanded his servant, the physician and embalmer, to embalm his father. And the physician embalmed Israel. We already know what embalming, that stuff they shoot up in you after you pass, they clean you out, they shoot that embalming fluid up in you. Yeah. Verse 3. And 40 days were fulfilled for him. And 40 days were fulfilled for him. For so are fulfilled the days of those which are embalmed. And the Egyptian mourned for him 70 days. So they mourned for him 70 days. That's how many people came down to Egypt with him, 70. And they mourned 70 days. But when they blow you up, they said, when they shot that embalming fluid, then it been 40 days were fulfilled. And he was still looking ashamed because they shot that embalming fluid in. You know how them Egyptians, they wrap you up, them Egyptian folk wrap you up in cloth or something. Stuff like that. Yeah. But they mourned for him 70 days. 70 days they mourned for Jacob. Even this how God work. You see how the Egyptian mourned for him? The Egyptian. God takes a man's heart and mold it the way he want to do it. If God want to make that man wicked and evil, he do it. He want to make him righteous, he do it. We have to remember, all things is done through the will of God. It ain't nothing in this world gonna get dead. It ain't nothing gonna be done unless it's through the will of God. He don't have to do nothing but sit right there and don't move. He can point or he can say. But it's not gonna get dead if it's not him giving it authority. Let's continue. Verse 4. And when the days of his mourning were past, Joseph spake unto the house of Pharaoh, saying, If now I have found grace in your eyes, speak, I pray you, in the ears of Pharaoh, saying, verse 5, my father made me swear, saying, lo, I die, in my grave which I have digged for me in the land of Canaan. There shalt thou bury me. Now therefore let me go up, I pray thee, and bury my father, and I will come again. What? I'm almost through. So Joseph went to Pharaoh, to the house of Pharaoh, and he told him what his father said. He don't want to be buried in Egypt. He already been there 40 days with them bums. Now Joseph want to take him up out of Egypt and take him back where his father told him to bury in the cave that Abraham bought for a burial place. Verse 6. And Pharaoh said, go up and bury thy father, according as he made thee swear. See, this Pharaoh, he loved Joseph. He loved Joseph. He even loved Jacob. He ain't had no problem with him. Now, all of them be called pharaohs in the king of, when they become kings in Egypt. When you become a king of Egypt, that's what they call you, pharaoh. That's not their name. Pharaoh meaning a king, power, one in charge. Let's look that up, cause that's what I'm thinking. I'm not gonna guess at it. Just like I said, a ruler in ancient Egypt. That was Pharaoh. Listen to what it say. The time of the pharaohs with the S, meaning it wasn't just. See, this Pharaoh right here loved Joseph, cause Joseph. Look what Joseph did, and look what he said. He put Joseph over everything. Now, when he died, and the next Pharaoh come in, he ain't heard nothing about Joseph. Don't know nothing about Joseph. Who the hell is Joseph? He just know he got too many goddamn Israelites riding this motherfucker. I'm jumping ahead, because that's in Exodus. But I'm trying to let y'all know that Pharaoh is not his name. Pharaoh means a ruler in ancient Egypt. That's what Pharaoh means. Just like Shechem, meaning a ruler, was in their time. Remember, he was a prince. The same one that defiled Dinah, Jacob's daughter. Now, verse 7. Verse 6 again from the top. And Pharaoh said, go up and bury thy father according as he made thee swear. Verse 7. And Joseph went up to bury his father, and with him went up all the servants of Pharaoh. So, look at them. God is good. Mama. God is good. You see how God, Pharaoh's servants went up with Joseph. Went up with Joseph. And they really can't tell them apart, because they look the same. With the melanin skin, with the melanin complexion. So how is Egypt white? Hotter than it is down there. What? That white man can't even stand in this south with the sun. They can't even go down there on Florida Beach, talking about laying out without putting that sunscreen lotion on them. That suntan lotion on them. Because they will burn, man. So hot was that they showing us all these pictures with the Egyptian white. That white man can't. Come on, and you wouldn't be able to spot Jesus. If Jesus was a white man, you wouldn't be able to spot Jesus around all them goddamn black folk in Egypt. Come on, y'all. Use y'all head for more than a hat rack. We smarter than this. We God chosen people. We are God. And we walk around here like we ain't Like we ain't nothing, man. And we supposed to be the light to the world. Them folk look up to y'all for real. But as long as you stay ignorant and dumb in the way you is, they gonna treat you like a nigga. They gonna keep treating you like a nigga. Cause we are stiff-necked people, like God said. I know these people. They are stiff-necked. And we don't want to hearken, we don't want to listen. But that white man can sit there and tell you everything, and you gonna sit there and listen and jump on it. But I will tell you the same thing that white man was telling you. But you call what you call your brother. You'll cuss one of us out. Dog us out. Only thing a man looking for out from a woman, man, is respect. Respect that man. You'll go a long way. I can't deal with you can't respect me. All that hollering at me or I ain't shit or you know how y'all get. That motherfucker ain't shit. And y'all think that be cool. When y'all we gonna leave that alone. That's cool. Cause you gonna buy a whooping. I told you about that. Lay down and go to sleep. Take a nap. That's what time it is. Take your nap. It's like it, family. You spare the rod, you spoil the child. And I think my daughter be sparing the rod on her son because he's spoiled. Very spoiled. And then she be wanting folk to keep him. You can't spoil these children and then expect to drop them off with somebody to keep them. And they spoil like this and they act like that. Well, she can drop them off with me because I'm the granddad. I'm going to tear his ass up. I get him in compliance. Well, I love my grandbaby though. I love my grandchildren. But I will tear his ass up. I take so much. And it's all add up. But when I get old to him, that's my son. When I get old to him, my son said, boy, you whooped me for old and new. Yeah. I let you get away with so much. Now it's time for it. Don't spare that rod. Let's continue. It say, verse 7 again, and Joseph went up to bury his father, and with him went up all the servants of Pharaoh, the elder of his house, and all the elders of the land of Egypt. So the elder of Pharaoh's house went up, and all the elders of the land of Egypt went up. They go bury off Jacob, Joseph's father. Verse 8, and all the house of Joseph and his brethren and his father's house, only their little ones and their flock and their herd they left in the land of Goshen. Now, all the house of Jacob, all the house of Joseph, all his brethren house, except for their little ones and their flocks and their herds. They stayed back in the land of Goshen, the same land that Joseph gave that Pharaoh gave Joseph them brothers to dwell in. Verse 9. And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen, and it was a very great company. It was a whole lot of them. It was a lot of them. Man, I'm just sitting here pitching that funeral when he said it was a great company. And me, when I remember when we went to bury my grams and my mom too, but my grams, man, a great company. Man, we had, man, it was over 80, 90, maybe 100 cars. My grandma's funeral was blowed. She was known. Just like Jacob known. In Egypt, got all the Egypt. I'm talking about people I ain't seen in years popped up at the funeral. Even dudes I just became friends with through other friends was all at the funeral. Because it shocked me. And then I looked around, and the people who I used to hang with before my grandma passed, during that time, I ain't see not one of them. Not one of them. But I seen a dude I just met through one of my partners. And he just used to chill with her, and I just met him. And I ain't know him no longer, probably about a month. He was there. And my own partner who I grew up with wasn't there. But it was a great company. Verse 10. And they came to the threshing floor of Atad. Let's see what this is. Atad. That joke don't want to go no sleep. He think we should go out that door and work on that car, that truck. Atad can refer to a Hebrew word for thorn or bramble, a biblical location where Jacob's funeral processions was held. So this was Jacob's funeral was held, or the acronym for anti-tax. Okay, that's the one we just read. What Jacob's funeral possessed was. The biblical meaning location of Atad referred to a place in the Old Testament known as the threshing floor of Atad. And Jacob's son, they paused there for 7 days of great mourning on their way to bury his body in Canaan. So they waited there 7 more days before. Wow, he was out for a long time. And that's another thing. Y'all pay attention to that. White people can't sit out that long like that. I don't care if you do embalm them. They still can't sit out that long because they have real less, damn near no, might as well say they don't have no melanin in their skin. You'll see a little darkness come in when you hit them, or they got a bruise or something. You'll see how dark it get. That's that little less of the melanin in their skin, cuz. They's not like this compared. Every other nation in this world that came before the last two nations, that were Esau and Jacob. And it said Esau came out red all over. It ain't described nobody but Esau. They didn't even describe Jacob when he came out. It didn't describe him. Because Jacob looked like everybody else. Everybody else. But this is referring to a place in the Testament, in the Old Testament, as the threshing floor. Atad. 10 again from the top. And they came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond Jordan, and there they mourned with a great and very sore lamentation. And he made a mourning for his father 7 days. He made a mourning for his father 7 days. They sat there 7 days and mourned 7 days for his father. And it was in Egypt 40 days. No, 70 days. Yeah, because they mourned 70 days in Egypt. Then they left and stopped along the way and mourned 7 more days at the threshing floor in Atad. Verse 11. Boy, I hope you ain't boo-boo on yourself. I heard you falling. Verse 11. And when the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning in the floor of Atad, they said, this is a grievous mourning to the Egyptian. See, they thought they all was Egyptian. You heard what they just said? This is a grieving mourning for the Egyptian. They must don't know that Jacob whole family came, all what came with him. The house of Jacob, his sons, the house of Joseph, And the Egyptian folk came down there, but they thought they all Egyptians, so they had to look alike. They had to been looking alike. The same complexion. Because the Canaanite thought it was the Egyptian. This is what it said. And when the inhabitants, verse 11 again from the top. And when the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanite, saw the mourning in the floor of Atad, they said, this is a grievous mourning to the Egyptian. Wherefore the name of it was called Abel Mizraim. Let's get this. I hate when they do it like that. I'm gonna have to type this one in. Okay, there we go. Okay, what we got? Abel Mizraim means metal of Egypt, or through a word play on similar sound Hebrew word, mourning of the Egyptian. It's a place mentioned in the Bible where Jacob's funeral processions, including his Egyptian entourage, pause for a significant 7 days mourning period, leading the local Canaanites to name the site after the grand lamentation that occurred there near the threshing floor of Atad. Why did they keep calling these all Egyptian when they's not? That's what it said. Mourning of Egyptian. That's what they call it. Abel Mizraim means mourning of Egyptian. Mom. Which is beyond Jordan. What? Well, you need to check it out. Verse 12. And his sons did unto him according as he commanded them. Now his sons ain't no Egyptian. He ain't even on the Egyptian. He the founder, he the progenitor of the Israelite. He's the founder of the Israelite. He the head of the Israelite. He wasn't Isaac, and it wasn't Abraham. It wasn't them. Jacob started the Israelites. Israel. Remember his name was changed to Israel. Then he started giving birth. When his name got changed to Israel, it's Reuben Israel, Simeon Israel, Levi Israel, Judah Israel. So are you. Your name Israel. They say you're going to look to change time and change our name. Change everything. They gave us their name. They gave us their name. Or gave us a name. Most of them, back then in slavery time, most of them named you after their name. Because you belonged to them, what they said, because they owned it you. So if your owner was named, just say Johnson, he might call you Johnson. Derek Johnson. They gave us a name. What they did to Kunta? Changed his name. What Kunta said? His name was Kunta Kente. They beat him so bad, he finally changed his name and said what his name was. The name they gave him. They called him Kunta, didn't it? Yeah, that's what they gave him, Kunta. I forgot his real name was. They hit him across that back so many times. He went ahead on and bowed down to it. That's what they did to her. That's how they got all women to go against her. They put fear in them by taking the toughest, strongest nigga out of the bunch and make them look like a woman in the bunch. They raped our men in front of others, women, children, and other men. They took 2 horses and tied our brother up. This side, the right side on one tied up to this horse, and the left side tied up to this horse. And they hit the horses, made them. This is what they did to us. They took our children away from us. If we don't get a complaint, they took our children and feed them to the gator or just smash them. Probably took a hammer or some hard and just smashed the baby head. And y'all have sympathy for these people? The world was given into the hands of the wicked. And who the wicked? Esau is the wicked. Esau do the most courageous stuff. What man will sit there and do? What man will sit there? That man ain't got no type of heart, remorse, no type of conscience. What man would tie a man up to 2 horses and pull them apart? That's wickedness. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. Let's continue. Verse 13. For his sons carried him into the land of Canaan and buried him in the cave of the field of Meshpah, which Abraham bought with the field for a possession of a burial place of the Ephron the Hittite, before Mamre. Verse 14. And Joseph returned into Egypt, he and his brethren, and all that went up with him to bury his father after he had buried his father. So they all came back to Egypt, because this is where we at now. We left Canaan. God told Jacob that. Go down there. I set this up. I sent your son down there to provide to provide for y'all, to set this thing up, to save this land, to save this earth. Because this famine was very grievous. So go on down there. But I will bring y'all up out of this land into the land that I promised your forefather, Abraham, Isaac. That's what he told Jacob. And Jacob told it to Joseph. Let's continue. Verse 15. And when Joseph's brethren saw that their father was dead, they said, Joseph will peradventure hate us and will certainly requite us all the evil which we did unto him. Now they done got nerve because they father Jacob dead. They thinking that Joseph gonna do something to him, but while their father was living, he wasn't gonna mess with him. But now their father died. Now pre-eventually, they thinking that Joseph gonna bring all the evil thing back toward them, what they did to him. No, Joseph had already told them that wasn't y'all did that. Y'all ain't do that. God did this. He sent me down here for a reason. But no, Joseph, love thy brethren. Let me see. I think, let me see. I got like 2 precepts. Hold on. Where's verse 15? I'm thinking of 2 precepts. I ain't even written that down yet. But what it's saying is, hate us and will oh man, I can't think of what it is. Let me get to it real quick. Let me check this one out. I think this the chapter. Huh? Mm-mm-mm. Oh, that's it. That's it. I was right. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It took me a minute to like it, family, but I'm gonna reread Genesis chapter 50, verse 15. And when Joseph's brethren saw that their father was dead, they said, Joseph will peradventure perhaps hate us, and may fully repay us, and will certainly requite us all the evil which we did unto him. See, that's the thought that they had, because they felt like, well, Joseph ain't he knew it was no wicked or no evil. He knew that this was God's plan. But they felt like they hated him. They felt like that Joseph was going to repay them back with evil like they did him. Precept, but Joseph don't have no hate in his heart for his brother. Precept, the book of Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. And it reads, Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. He said, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. My brother, I'm his brother that thinking that in Genesis chapter 50, verse 15, that he going to repay them with evil. But the scriptures say, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. He don't hate his brother. He said, and it say, thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Rebuke thy neighbor. Who is your neighbor? Your brethren. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in your heart. Ain't them his brother? What they thinking he gonna do evil to him because they sold him and did evil to him? They had hatred on him? No. He don't have hate like that because he don't hate his brother. Anything he gonna rebuke them, meaning correct them. Let them know that's wrong. He already put past all that. He told them earlier. He told them that this wasn't y'all doing. It was a doing of God, and it was for a reason. I saved the earth. I saved my family. I saved Egypt. If I wouldn't have did this, we wouldn't have had, y'all wouldn't have had nowhere to go in Goshen. Egypt would have perished away. And so the other land would have perished away. But God couldn't have that because God did what? God made a promise to Abraham and Isaac to give them this land. God is not a liar. God is not a liar. He keep his promise. He promised the land to Abraham and Isaac. He promised to Abraham and the seed after him. He promised to Isaac and the seed after him. He promised to Jacob and the seed after him. And who the seed after Jacob? We are. The 12 tribes of Israel. The so-called African American, the so-called Hispanics, and the so-called Native American. Let's continue. Verse 16, and they sent a messenger unto Joseph, saying, thy father did command before he died, saying. Now they lying. Because their father ain't know nothing about their wicked or their evilness. Because if he did, don't you know he would have said something or got on them about that? And would have sent them to go get their brother? Y'all wouldn't think that? If they would have told their father, no, Joseph ain't dead, we sold him to the Ishmaelite, and they took him down there in Egypt and sold him to a Potiphar. You think Jacob went down there in Egypt and tried to find his son? So he don't have no hatred in his heart for his brother. Let's continue. Back to Genesis chapter 50. Verse 16 again from the top. It said, and they sent a messenger unto Joseph, saying, thy father did command before he died, saying, verse 17, so shall ye say unto Joseph, forgive, I pray thee now. Now he already did that. Remember? He already did that. He said, I pray thee now, the trespass of thy brethren and their sin, for they did unto thee evil. Why this do that, man? What verse? Verse 15? No, 16. His phone. Okay, verse 16 again from the top. It said, and they sent a messenger unto Joseph, saying, thy father did command before he died, saying, verse 17, so shall ye say unto Joseph, forgive, I pray thee now, the trespass of thy brethren and their sins. For I stay in the and that what they were trying to do. They were trying to cover up their sin. "17 again from the top. So shall ye say unto Joseph, forgive, I pray thee, now, the trespass of thy brethren and their sin, for they did unto thee evil. And now we pray thee, forgive the trespass of the servant of the God of thy father. And Joseph wept when they spake unto him." So when they said these things to Joseph, Joseph started crying. Because it really, I think it just really just hurting him that they would think that he would be like that. No. Joseph is a God-fearing man. And everything Joseph did, Joseph ain't did nothing wrong yet, period. Ever since he been sold and down into Egypt, he committed nothing. What he said, they just threw me in this war. And I did no wrong. I did no good, evil. I did nothing. They stole me out of my land. And I'm in this war. For what? Nothing. And you think he want to bring that grievousness to his brother now? When he, even though they've been back down there 17 years or probably more than that now, but you think he want to bring that towards him and want to see his brother? No. Jacob loved his brother. I mean, Joseph loved his brother. All of them. Because if he didn't, he would have never brought them down there and provided for them. He would have never told them to go back and bring their father back with them. And he would never provided for them if he didn't. Let's continue. Verse 18, and his brethren also went and fell down before his face. And they said, behold, we be thy servant. So his brother dropped down and started crying, all of them. And they say, they'll be his servant. And what Joseph said, verse 19, and Joseph said unto them, fear not, for am I in the place of God? He said, fear not, for am I in the place of God? I might be a God, but I'm not in the place of the Most High God. Verse 20, but as for you, ye thought evil against me. What he said, you thought evil against me. But God meant it unto good. But God meant it to be good. What y'all thought y'all were doing, evil, that was a plan. God put that spirit on them to do these things. God did that. I say he had angels on the left hand, angels on the right hand. And they sitting there waiting on him to give him, what the word I'm looking for? Give him authority to do what need to be did. And I can't remember, I don't remember what that, and then I know I'm finna bruise it. But it's saying, see, God made it to be good, meant it unto good. They thought they was doing evil to their brother, but God meant it for good. That's to say, verse 20 again from the top, but as for you, precept. Hold on. Precept for Genesis 50 and 20. Check this out. This is the book of Genesis chapter 45, verse 5. Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourself, that ye sold me here. For God did send me before you to preserve life. He ain't got no hate, because he know this was God's will, an act of God. It's an act of God doing to preserve life. If Joseph, when the devil did this, and God never sent him to Egypt to preserve life, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't be here. Probably nobody would be here. But you remember, God made a promise not to destroy the earth again, especially by water. So the famine was grievous in the land. You probably had some people died off the famine, but not a lot. That's why he sent Joseph down there to preserve life. Verse 20 again from the top. But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good, to bring to pass, as it is this day, to save much people alive. As it is this day, right here. He saved much people. None of it would have been him. If he would have never sent him down there to interpret them dreams. Because God showed who? Pharaoh what he was about to do. He ain't showed the world. He showed Pharaoh. And Pharaoh told the dream to Joseph. And Joseph interpreted because because God was with him. So Joseph interpreted with. Joseph told him, well, God's showing you what he's about to do. And he broke it down to him. Verse 21. Now therefore fear ye not. I will nourish you. Nourish, meaning provide. I will nourish you, provide for you and your little one. And he comforted them and spake kindly unto them. That's my blood. That's my blood. That's my kinsmen. Why would I want to do evil to my brother when the Bible said, thou shalt not have hatred in your heart for your brother? Love thy brother, man. Why would I want to do something wicked like that to my brother now? Because they did it to me? You don't pay evil for evil. You don't do that evil for evil. Well, he said, turn the other cheek. And if it get so worse, give him the other cheek. And that's what Joseph did. He turned the other cheek because he knew it was meant for good, to preserve life. Verse 22, and Joseph dwelt in Egypt, he and his father's house, and Joseph lived 110 years. So Joseph lived 110 years old. See, they went back to Egypt. Well, they said we spent 430 years, I think. Yeah, 430 years there. They went back to Egypt. And he was 110 years old. Now, remember when he first went to Egypt, he was 17 years old. And when Pharaoh put him second in charge of all the land of Egypt, over all Egypt, well, he was what? 30-something, 37? And 110 now. So he stayed in Egypt from 17 to 110. That's a long time. 17. Man, that man was down there 92 years in Egypt. Before he died, I guess. 22 again from the top. And Joseph dwelt in Egypt, he and his father's house. And Joseph lived 110 years. Verse 23. And Joseph saw Ephraim children of the third generation, the children also of Machar, the son of Manasseh, were brought up upon Joseph's knee. So he seen Ephraim children of the third generation. He seen his great grandchildren was brought up on his knee. And we stayed in Egypt 430 years now. 92 years from 17 to 110 for Joseph stayed there. We ain't in slavery now. So don't listen to the thing when they say we did 430 years in slavery in Egypt. No, we didn't. That's a lie. We didn't did no 430. We wasn't in slavery at this time. And we've been down there 90-some years now. 92 years to be exact. Let's continue. Verse 24. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I die, and God will surely visit you, Same thing what Jacob said to Joseph. Same thing what Jacob said to Joseph. And God will surely visit you and bring you out of this land unto the land which he swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Remember that what Jacob told Joseph? You see how Reuben, the firstborn, birthright, went down to Joseph and his lineage? For Joseph and Ephraim, for real? Like Joseph was the firstborn. Verse 25. And Joseph took an oath of the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones from hence. So he made the children of Israel, he made them promise to take his bones up out of Egypt from hence. He made them promise. He made an oath. That's what an oath is. Verse 26. But God will visit him. Jacob told Joseph telling the children of Israel that he gonna bring y'all up out this land again. He will visit and give you the land that he promised who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, their forefathers. Verse 26. So Joseph died, being 110 years old, and they embalmed him, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt. So when he died at the age of 110, they embalmed him. Remember, they embalmed his father, Jacob, and they lamentated for him, mourned for him, 70 days? Now they embalmed, when Joseph died, they did the same thing, but they put him in a coffin in Egypt. But when God comes, like he said, when God comes visit, he surely will visit y'all. And when he leads y'all up out of him, y'all get my bones. Y'all take them up out of him too. That was exactly what he was saying. Now, family, that was the end of Genesis, entirely the whole book. That was the end of Genesis chapter 50 and the end of the whole story of Genesis. Now we found out about how creation began. We found out how God destroyed the world with water and kept 8 people. And we found out that out of them 3 sons of Noah, when the world repopulated, he replenished the earth. The world repopulated. And we found out different nations. We found out that Shem, Ham, and Japheth, they have their own nations. And a couple of them in a nation. Genesis is a good book to read for genealogy, to put you on top of who you are, where you come from, how you be God. Genesis, that's a good book. I pray that y'all read it over and over again. I'm still reading Genesis. It's a lot that I still don't know about Genesis and that I'm reading. But when you be seeing me regularly stop and that's something that hit my head. And I know I done read it, but it ain't come off the page till it coming off the page at me now. So that's how I get my study on. When I read to y'all and some spark of my spirit, So when I get through with y'all doing what I'm doing with y'all, and it's time for me to do my reading for myself, that's when I go back and study and go over what I read to y'all, and that what spark off that page. That's when I go into that more deeper. I pull that verse up. I goo that whole verse and break that verse down word for word. Cause every word in this Bible means something. Every word means something. Israel, man. Man, Israel, man. I love it, boy. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Man, it was nice that y'all gave me y'all ear. And we will be picking up in Exodus, but not no time soon right now because I got something else I need to do. And we're going to kick off one tonight for the Sabbath. When the Sabbath come in, we're going to do a little class tonight. And since we through with Genesis, now I can do what I want to do about this Genesis. Oh, we got what I said I was going to do. I was going well, tonight we're going to, because we got the Feast of Dedication coming up. Tomorrow at sundown at Eve. So tonight, I got something else planned tonight about the Feast of Dedication. So I'm gonna give a little breakdown on the Feast of Dedication, what it is, and why do we honor it and hold it for 8 days. We're gonna give a little breakdown on that. But Israel, man. Man, we're gonna say this prayer. We finna get up out of here, man. First of all, we want to give all praise unto Yahweh by Hashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For thy is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. Father, man, we want to thank you for giving us the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, guiding us. We ask that you keep your Holy Spirit upon us, teaching us the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, walking with us, guiding us in the righteous way. If we slip and fall, Father, we pray that the Spirit lift us back up and put us back on the righteous road and keep walking. We never want to give up. We never want you to stop loving us. We praying, we asking for your love to come save us out this captivity and give us the salvation that you promised us from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We just want to glorify you and thank you for all what you have done for the 12 tribes of Israel, protecting us, providing for us. We know we are some stiff-necked people and we don't like to hearken. That's one thing about Israel. We don't want to listen to nobody. But Father, thank you for guiding us. Thank you for teaching us. We want to ask for forgiveness for all our sins that we occur. Any way that we transgress your law, we ask you for your forgiveness and have mercy upon our soul, Father. And with that being said, we want to give one more glory and one more thanks to Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Thank y'all, family. Remember, I am Israel, a true seeker of Yahweh. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Kwame Yasharala.